When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Life is too short for long-term grudges. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. When I was in college, I wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? If the future does not include being out there among the stars and being a multi-planet species, I find that incredibly depressing. The future of humanity is going to bifurcate in two directions. Either it's going to become multiplanetary, or it's going to remain confined to one planet, and eventually there's going to be an extinction event. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. I think we are at the dawn of a new era in commercial space exploration. A company is a group organized to create a product or service, and it is only as good as its people and how excited they are about creating. I don't want to recognize a ton of super talented people. I just happen to be the face of the companies. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, your job is going to be quite miserable. If humanity doesn't land on Mars in my lifetime, I would be very disappointed. Great companies are built on great products. When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, "Nah, what's wrong with a horse?" That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. The United States is definitely ahead in culture of innovation. If someone wants to accomplish great things, there is no better place than the US. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. My background educationally is physics and economics, and I grew up in sort of an engineering environment. My father is an electromechanical engineer, and so there were lots of engineering things around me. If anyone thinks they'd rather be in a different part of history, they're probably not a very good student of history. Life sucked in the old days. People knew very little, and you were likely to die at a young age of some horrible disease. You probably have no teeth by now. It would be particularly awful if you were a woman. Here in the West, people often don't like listening to their leaders, even if they are right. There are some important differences between me and Tony Stark, like I have 5 kids, so I spend more time going to Disneyland than parties.
Thank you for being with us. Subscribe to our channel, and you will always stay informed about new videos.